This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Work in Progress. It is your two hostess, Nailani,
And this is Sam here.
and we're here for another episode. And since today, actually, it's not today, the day that we're filming this, but the day that it's coming out, that it is Friday the 13th. So, in honor of that spooky date, in my opinion,
Mm.
me and Sam just thought we would sit here and just chat about like our favorite Halloween movies, whether they're like blood and gore or dark or just like nice little light-hearted ones. You know, either way it is, So me and Sam just thought, well, hey, why not talk about all of our favorite Halloween movies? So that's what the episode will be about today. Is just us talking and raving on our favorite Halloween movies. And you
Mm-hmm.
guys just let us know down below, what are your favorite Halloween movies? Like what is the one movie that you look forward to watching every October? For like the Halloween month. So me and Sim are practically different within like the category of Halloween movies. I have a different definition of it. She definitely has a different definition of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sam is just like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger kind of type person, and I'm just like, Halloween Town, Twitches, Night. Like was it the Nightmare Before Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
All that is just me. I like the nice lighthearted, and Sam is just like full in blood and gore, which I cannot seem to escape in my life because her as my best friend, she's all blood and gore. And then I have another friend down here, she's blood and gore. And then I have a boyfriend who is, I'm not sure what to say about Shane. Cause Shane just picks like, okay, so like we'll go thrifting
Yeah.
movies, right? And Shane will pick up like the most random scary movie looking genre or horror film genre movie.
Mm-hmm.
And but Shane likes that like those horror films that just seem so stupid and funny to laugh at.
Oh, those like B movie kind of horror. Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is Shane, he's a little bit of blood and gore. He's a fan of Evil Dead Rise and all that stuff. So I don't know. I can't seem to escape it. But me and Sam are like have two different nations, two definitions,
To
uh,
what?
two definitions of a Halloween movie. So we're both different, and I guess
Mm-hmm.
you guys are going to see that big difference throughout the podcast. So, Sammy, what are some of your favorite movies since you're like all that blood and gore kind of type person?
Now I don't know about blood and gore. Like I don't mind it, but when it comes to me, I've grown to love and appreciate horror films because it's nice to be scared about the unknown.
Uh huh.
But now I like to be scared out of my pants. But when it comes to all that blood and gore, it depends. Because like Saw movies, yeah, I don't drive with those. Or like Terrifier, is it that creepy black and white clown with the pointy nose? Yeah, I don't do that. That's just too much for me. I don't want to be grossed out.
Right.
Now, when it comes to something like Jason or like Freddy, yeah, that is gore, but I was also quite scared out of my pants. And it's just something about like 80s horror films, like
Hmm.
the special effects I just appreciate. It's just amazing. Because for
Right.
one thing, you can tell sometimes you can actually tell how fake it looks when it comes to the makeup and whatnot. But I just find it entertaining. But when and also some of my favorite horror films definitely is Friday the 13th, the first one. The first one.
Yeah.
And Nightmare on Elm Street is definitely another favorite of mine.
Hmm.
I do like Poltergeist. Poltergeist was a lot of fun to watch. And what else is there? It's not really horror. Well, I guess you could call it horror, but it's also mostly a thriller. Two is Jaws. That right there definitely scared me out of my wits because that's something that could possibly happen, like a great white shark coming after you because it's
the waters anymore. Like, no, because in the waters, I don't mess with it. I mean, like, I'll just kind of like stand there in between, like,
Mhm.
and water, and like just dip my toe in, but that's about it. You cannot hold the
Just the
water.
toe.
All it's gonna get. Uh,
Man, yeah, I get it, I get it, oh, yeah, but I don't know what it is. When I first saw Jaws, I think I was a kid when I first discovered it, and it just scared me out of my pants. Cause for one thing, how I like about it is that with that one, normally you can see your attacker coming at you. In this case, you couldn't. It was a horror that you just cannot see, but when it comes up at you, it's the most terrifying thing you could ever possibly see. You literally, like, just see a great white monster coming at you. He literally jumped on the boat, bro. Are sharks even able to do that? Probably, I don't know. Well, either way, it was very entertaining. But that's
but
definitely those are definitely a few of my favorites. I mean, I got a list, but well, let me just say it like this. I have a list when it comes to, like, adults Halloween films. Now, for the friendly side,
right.
I do like Casper. That's such a sweet story.
Oh, that's a good one. I love
Mm,
Casper.
same. That's just the ultimate classic. What else is there? When it comes to Disney, definitely Twitches. Just go Twitches, go Twitches. It's
Love
so
it.
good. And then let's see, Nightmare Before Christmas is definitely a favorite.
Oh
Then
yes,
I love stop motion animation. It's amazing. It's not again, isn't a horror film, but it's definitely one that you could consider during this time of year. Is Coraline.
right.
Man, that's definitely a classic. But what about you?
Okay, so for adult, the only one that I'm so fascinated with, or like I could get behind,
Yeah.
um, is Scream. I am
Mm.
a big fan of Scream at this point. I can't wait for them to do the seventh installment. I have theories and things that I want to happen.
Mhm.
Seventh installment, but then again, it's all up to the writers and the directors and how they go on it when they do it, of course. But
True, true.
for me, it's Scream. I've watched the first one a few times, because I was trying to pick a movie that I can get past my fear, of course.
Mhm.
Like past my fear of scary movies because I am not a huge fan of scary movies. I'm a paranoid person. So if
Yeah.
a single scary movie, I am paranoid. So basically when it comes to so I picked Scream basically as like my trial, and I ended up loving it, and I didn't know that Matthew Lillard was in it.
Mhm.
I love Matthew Lillard because Matthew Lillard plays Shaggy and Scooby Doo, like the
Mhm.
live action ones, and Scooby Doo is my childhood, and I think Matthew
Mhm.
Lillard did absolutely amazing of playing Shaggy. Like I feel like he really honed in Shaggy, but
Nice.
I found him like very funny and very different when he played Stu. So I was just like in for it at this point.
Mhm.
So, I love it. I love the twist of Scream. So, all the way, I love Scream, and I love how they kept it on for 6 installments.
Mhm.
I really do. I mean, like, you take one big story and you just kept it going. Amazing. But I've only watched 1 and 2 at this point.
Mhm.
Like I said, I'm slowly working my way up the ladder for all of it. I did see 6. I was dragged to 6. I was dragged against my will. So I was because my friend, she loves Scream as well.
Yeah.
So she was like, no, she hit me up on a Monday night, and she never hits up anybody on a Monday night to see a movie at
Mm.
all because that's not like her. She's like, I'm in bed, got work tomorrow. Bam. Girl, she
Yeah.
she hit me up on a Monday night and said, I want to watch a movie. I was like, okay, yeah. So like what movie you want to watch this weekend? And she said, and then like she didn't say anything bad. Girl found her at my door. I was like, oh, you meant tonight.
She just bust down the door like, "Oh, we ready. Let's go."
Okay, yeah. So I was like, okay, we're gonna go then. You're already down here, so let's go.
Might as well.
But yeah, so for that for Scream, I now you showed me Poltergeist, which was not that bad.
It really wasn't.
It
Yeah.
was mostly funny to me than it was bad.
Mhm.
then you showed me, Halloween, the first one,
Yes.
because I was dragged to again, against my will, I was dragged to the last one.
That's
Um,
true.
and then so Sam was like, "Okay, well, since you seen the last one, I'm gonna show you the first one." I was like, "Okay, all right, let's see the beginning of the franchise." Oof, Sam could tell you how I was because I had to keep pausing, and I had to like pump myself up to like to get ready for like the big jump scare, because I think
Mhm.
one of the things about me about scary movies or horror movies is that I it's so intense, and
Yeah.
I can feel the killer lurking around the corner, and I'm just
Mhm.
ready for that big surprise. I have to like coach myself, and I was the same way with Scream. I had to coach myself because I had a feeling when someone was gonna die. I was like, oh,
Right.
I was like, oh no, I gotta pump myself up.
I think this is one thing about horror films that this is the adrenaline that keeps you pumping, like, "Okay, something
Right,
about to happen, I know it." And that's what I love about Halloween, like, even when I first saw it, like, you can just feel that something's about to happen, and you see and you feel someone's lurking and watching you, but you don't know where they are. That's what's so cool
exactly,
about it.
bro. Because like when I watched Scream 2,
Mhm.
and Gail and Doobie were being chased down by Ghostface in the like the school's like film room, right?
Right.
And what was it? So we knew that he was chasing Gail down, right?
Mhm.
He was trying to like, get away. Then Dewey finds her and tries to call her through like the plexiglass.
Mhm.
Girl, Ghostface popped out of nowhere behind Dewey and stabbed him.
Yeah,
Oh,
see?
girl,
Yep.
scared me so bad. Cause I had a feeling it was gonna be one of them. I was like, I don't know who's gonna get hurt. It's gonna be one of them. Girl, it was Dewey. My heart jumped out of my chest. I was like, "Oh God, no, 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 no,
Dang, not Dewey, not Dewey.
Dewey." But yeah, it'd be like that. So when you were showing me Halloween, girl, I had to pump myself. Now, there were some scenes that I did laugh about that Sam can be a witness to,
Uh-huh.
like the part where like he's outside watching the girls in broad daylight.
Yeah.
I said the same. I was like, and no one sees this at all. Like it's a literally person standing in broad daylight staring at somebody, and cars are passing by too.
Right.
No one is saying anything. No one's saying anything. And then I even like stopped and act. So like I think like was it when Michael stole the car? I paused it and I was like, Sam, how long has he been in this institute? And then she was like, since he was 6. And I was like, okay. And he know how to drive? You've been there since you were 6 and you know how to drive? I even said this to Shane, and then Shane was like, "Maybe someone taught him." I was like, "Shut up, because you know that's very unrealistic. That someone can teach somebody how to drive inside an insane asylum."
That's really the only thing I can think of, honestly, when it
Right,
came to him driving that either he saw it on the TV somewhere.
right, and then the just became like a protege at it, like, he just
Exactly. That's the only explanation I can think of, that he just saw it and then just stuck in his head. Now for the broad daylight thing, I also imagine the fact that it's like a small town and no
right,
one really thinks of like stuff like that happening. So and also it was during like a hollow it was during Halloween. They're like, oh, okay, it's a guy in a mask, you know. And they never expect certain like evil like that to be lurking in such a town like that because it's like a nice community and stuff like that. But then
right,
when it happens, they're like, "Oh shoot, why weren't we paying attention? What happened? Like what we could have done?" But yeah.
yeah. But I totally get that because, like, honestly, I would have thought that too.
Mhm.
But then honestly, if I didn't think like that, and I'm thinking like this person is something wrong, I'll mind my business at the same time because I was like, I ain't got time to get to die. I'll mind my business.
You know what? Maybe I should show you The Fog next. That's another John Carpenter film.
Okay, got you.
Yeah,
And oh, so and then I am like a fan of like okay, so I'm a fan of Charmed, right?
that's a
So
good one. Yeah.
I love Charmed. Charm's a TV show series that was started well of like the 1999 and went
Mhm.
into the 2000s. Really good show, honestly. So
Indeed.
so yeah, I'm really into Charmed, and so when I watched The Craft with Nev Campbell, Skeet Ulrich, because I already seen Scream with them,
Yeah.
watching The Craft, okay. Yeah, well, so when watching The Craft, that was not scary, but I love the vibe of it. We have,
Mhm.
like, witches and, and it's not even dark. It's just, like, I wouldn't say dark, I would say lighthearted, but, like, right in between,
Mhm.
It's like, it's very subtle, and it has all the elements of witches, but
Yeah. Again, small town vibes, 3 girls who are yeah, the witchy vibes and all that.
yeah, the witchy vibes who need a fourth person to complete their ritual, basically,
Mhm.
because this fourth person is very powerful.
Yeah, and he's like the costumes and the makeup, and I'm pretty sure even, like, the
Yeah.
soundtrack slaps.
Oh, yeah, of course, like the song for the beginning credits of Charmed
Mhm.
was in The Craft. So, like, so I'm hearing the song, I'm like, "Well, I know this song." I'm singing a song, and
Mhm.
it's very 90s cliche too, so
Oh,
they're
yeah.
made it
Definitely.
better, and that's, like, the kinda, like now if we're going on the lighthearted side of Halloween movies,
Mhm.
then, of course, I'm hitting Disney up for all of them.
Mhm.
Hocus Pocus, my favorite. We
That's a
got
good one.
we got all of the Halloween towns, 1, 2, 3. No, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 of 'em.
4 of them, yeah. You know what, side note, it wasn't until last year with Neilani, y'all, that I saw Halloween Town for the first time in my life.
She loved every single bit of
I
'em.
love them all. They were great. Lighthearted kids, movies. Even not just for kids, it's for everybody. It's just really entertaining.
Right, and, like, honestly, for me, it's a requirement, you know?
Yeah.
You gonna live in my roof? You gonna be in my roof? You gotta watch these movies. You gonna be my best friend? You gotta watch it. Boyfriend, husband, baby daddy, whatever, cousin, uncle, aunts, all that stuff, nephews, because I surely did educate my nephews on it. We're watching it.
Exactly. You're not gonna complain, you're gonna sit your butt down and enjoy these films.
Absolutely. And my kids in the future will be sitting there behind there enjoying it. It's
Oh,
so
most definitely, yeah.
we got Twitches. My
Mhm.
my mom's on a date with a vampire. We
Oh,
have
yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good one. Oh my gosh, so like you say, Nightmare Before Christmas, The Court
Mhm.
Bride, Sweeney
Mhm.
Todd, all of those, like those are like my go-to Disney ones. Um, I probably have more. Oh, and no, sometimes I'll go back and watch all of like the Disney Channel shows in their Halloween specials.
Ah, yeah. Yo, let me tell you, my one of my favorite Halloween specials from Disney Channel was on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody with the haunted room. I
Right?
love that episode, it's so good.
That one was really good. Oh, and That's So Raven when her
He
and
turned into a cow.
because they were trying to do like this little spell thing.
Mhm.
Chelsea's pin fell in there and they just turned into cows. And that was really, really good. That was so funny. Oh my gosh, there are so many good ones with the
I
Disney.
agree,
I
but those 2 definitely are, like, top notch.
Right, because I think when I was young, I really looked forward to those shows and them show
Mhm.
especially on Disney Channel when you're growing up and they just showed everything. It was very nostalgic, and I don't know, I love it to this day.
Same, so much. I tell you, there's one thing I appreciate about Disney Plus. It has a lot of our childhood in there that we used to watch. There's a lot of shows I wish were on there now, but they got a good variety.
Right, and, like, they bring it back because I think when Disney Plus first came on, girl, That's So Raven was, like, the first thing I watched. I
I
was like,
believe it. Oh
watching
yeah.
this, like,
One of the first things I watched was Hannah Montana. That was my show.
oh my
It
god,
still is.
right,
I
and
love
then
me some Miley Ray Cyrus.
I have not seen Sue Ellen and Cody in a long time because right now I am in the midst because okay, so you know what, everybody, please don't be mad at me. I know I'm so late with this one, and I did start after I think the second or third season was already out.
Yeah.
I am currently watching Riverdale right now,
Oh
and
yeah.
Riverdale has Cole Sprouse in it, and I love Cole Sprouse. As I'm sitting there watching it, and I just think he's doing fantastic in Riverdale. Like you just see the growth from a kid actor to now. You see the
True.
you see the growth in him and his brother.
Oh, that's right. He plays Jughead,
Yeah, he plays
right?
Jughead Jones, and so I was just watching it, and I was just like, you know what, I need to go back to watching Squid Up, Zack and Cody, Split Up.
Mhm.
I need to go back and watch all of those because those hit to home. They were so good, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, he's brown hair in this one. When he was a kid, I remember him just being blonde, and I loved every ounce of it. So I'm like, yeah, we gotta go back. We gotta watch it all.
Yeah, let's take it all back. It's all coming back to me now.
All right, Miss Dion, Miss Celine Dion.
Sorry. I don't even know lyrics. I don't know what I was singing. But, yeah, definitely, 'cause so I love horror films now, I really do, but I'd like there's, like, different categories, I believe. Like, there's the adult side and the children's side. And, so far, I think I watched more adult side than children's side, because, like I said, y'all, when it came to, like, Halloween Town, Hocus Pocus, my mom's dating a vampire, I never saw any of those until I got older. Because as a kid, I mean, I had no clue. Because also I didn't grow up with cable, but as I we went to college together, Nene showed me all this.
Exactly. For
Yeah.
me, I'm gonna show you the way, but like,
Show me the way.
yeah, like, because as I say in Mandalorian, this is the way,
Yeah,
and
this is the way.
me showing her was the way. But oh no, no, no! Like honestly, it's just like I grew up on those, so
Mhm.
forward to every Halloween October month every year of my childhood because I get to see those shows,
Mhm.
and it did like because Disney Channel was my thing. So like those shows really just brought in the fall and Halloween vibe that I love
Mhm.
so much. This is why I love this time of month of this time of the year anyways, because
Same.
it's just so amazing. It feels so good and cozy, and it's very nostalgic because all of my favorite movies just came out on those. So like when it comes to it, I try to relive it every year. So like
Mhm.
that's why I'm still like on the kid side more than I'm on the adult side
Yeah.
because all of these things were my childhood. Now, Halloween or Scream or anything like that, they weren't my childhood at all.
Mhm.
Um, I am making a connection with Scream being my childhood, given the fact that Matthew Lillard was in the first one
Yeah.
and he played Shaggy, who is my childhood. So, like, I'm making that connection with it, of course. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, everything else was just never my childhood. Um, my siblings I believe would see it, and I just would not be in the room with them. I know
Mhm.
okay, so like because my siblings they did love horror films, so I think some of those horror films I saw with them that I yeah sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
And for the horror film that I watched with my siblings that I vividly remember, one was Silent Hill.
Oh, man. Now that I'm not sure about watching that.
Yeah, it was Silent Hill was one of them, and then also I don't know the name of it,
Mhm.
but basically it was about this guy, I think,
Mhm.
bought like this antique puppet for his wife, and the puppet was the killer basically. It wasn't Chucky, but I do remember Chucky vividly. Like some
Oh,
movie
yeah.
here
That
and there.
sounds like The Boy.
It could be, but it was mostly his wife died and
Mhm.
he was trying to figure out the mystery behind her death, and it was because of the puppet, I guess, like someone tried to warn him about it.
Mhm.
Basically, this puppet belonged to this lady who did like a ventriloquist act, and let's see, she was doing it, and I guess like her performance wasn't all bad.
Mhm.
And what happened was is that this boy during her act spoke out, so she deemed him as a rude boy, and she killed the boy, or like the evil puppet killed him. I don't know, it was something like
Yeah.
that. And then yeah, so that happened, and I guess she got killed for him.
Mm.
She got killed because of the boy's death. It was something like that, and I think in the movie
Mhm.
rule was is that if you scream, you die. So I guess, like, you
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's not The Boy. This is something completely different. I
know,
forgot the name of it, but basically, yeah, if you scream, she'll take your tongue or something.
yeah, that. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
that, but, yeah,
Didn't it have Ryan Reynolds in it?
I don't know, was it I can't I was so young when I watched it.
'Cause that sounds like I feel like that's something Ryan Reynolds was in before he became, more well known, but I
Right,
know exactly what you're talking about. I just can't remember the name of it. Now that one, I don't know about that one either.
scared the crap out of me. I was like,
I
"Oh."
believe it. Well, I mean, hey, you know what? It scared the crap out of me. It was the 1980s version too. And again, that one wasn't that scary, but
Yeah.
looking back at it, there were moments I'm like, "Ooh." But overall, it wasn't that scary. Now the remake though, that scared the crap out of me going to the theater.
So in college, we'll do parties, right?
Yeah, that's
So
true. Oh yeah, I showed it to you guys, didn't I? That's right.
in college, we would do parties. October was Sammy's month. We gave that
Yeah.
to her
Yes.
in our friend group. I
Yes.
had I had February for Valentine's Day because I was just that good with it.
Mm,
And then, I think Christmas, me and her split that in between each other, basically. So we'll come together for that one. So Sam would host, of course, a Halloween party. So the very first one that we did
mhm.
was a movie watching, and the girl would just show different movies, scary movies back to back, and it was me and our friend Christiana, scaredy cats out of the whole bunch. Me and her
Yeah, that's
sit
oh, yeah, I know where this is going,
sitting
okay.
together, holding hands and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And one of the movies was It, and oh my gosh, I didn't. I 4 or 5 minutes, I hated Sam's guts for 5. I was not in the mood for that. But the girl, oh my gosh, no, this girl. What happened is that it was it that trailer, like, no, garage scene where they were watching the
Oh,
footage,
yeah.
and
Oh,
and the clown popped out of the
out of the screen.
the screen, and I remember everybody, like, everybody that was invited to the party, girl, everybody jumped out of their seats
Mhm. Oh
laughing.
my it was funny too because y'all literally jumped out of your seats. I'm necessarily leaning against in the chair at the screen like, "Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this scene's coming up."
she was into it. Everybody else was nowhere. Girl, I was about to walk out of out of the apartment. I was like, I can't do this. But everybody calmed down after, like, what, 2 minutes of
I
this
think we
being.
had to literally pause it too for a minute. They're like, "What the hell was that?" I'm like,
Yes,
"I know, right?"
she was happy. Everybody was looking at her like, "What is wrong with you? Like, do you not see how terrified we are?" It
Oh gosh.
it was funny, but absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, like, it was so funny. So everybody was just sitting there jumping out of their skin. Everybody needed to take a break. Girl, we
Mhm.
had alcohol in there. Everybody took a sip of their drink just to calm their nerves.
Right?
It's like,
Oh gosh. But I mean, I love experiencing movies that people have never seen, that I've seen. I want to experience the same way I've seen it. Because my mom and I saw it in the theaters. And again, we knew something was coming because the projector kept like acting up. And I'm literally leaning back in my seat, like, oh God, it's coming. It's coming. And then he leaned out, and then he jumped out of the screen. I was like, oh my God. But it was just so good. But I love it. That's another good Stephen King adaptation. Actually, there's a lot of Stephen King adaptations. I would love to show you, Nay. Um, you've seen it. You've seen The Shining. Uh,
The Shining.
you haven't seen Cujo. I want to show you that. There's
uh,
Pet Cemetery. That's another good one. And probably The Stand too. The Stand is good.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I got a list, hunty.
Yeah.
But when it comes to horror films, I was reading this article, and to sum up reasons why people love horror movies, I found it interesting. It's basically that no single explanation provided by scholars accounts for every reason, people enjoy watching horror movies. That's because when people seek out a horror film, they are likely doing so for multiple reasons and to satisfy multiple gratifications. Plus, some people may be motivated to watch horror for one reason but not the other. And for one of them, it's said that in our everyday life, we don't encounter every scary situation all that often, but if we do encounter something threatening or dangerous, it attracts our attention. Horror scholar Mathis Clisson suggests that this tendency can be traced back to the constant danger our ancient ancestors explained in the environments where they lived. And basically, it's these long ago experiences have granted people a highly responsive, albeit mostly unconscious threat detection system. Because horror movies do such a good job at simulating threatening situations, this means our emotional responses to them are similar to those we experience if we encountered a real life threat. So, like, say, for example, Halloween, especially the sequel to it. I don't know if you saw, but basically how the whole town was about to gang up on Michael Myers. I feel like that if that was in a real life situation, that would be the same way. That'd be like a full on witch hunt if they're trying to catch a killer.
Yeah, and I see that.
Yeah. Or also how I see it as well is that a lot of horror films they show like something that's basically of the supernatural or that's like completely fiction. So it's I think it's like good to us but also like entertainingly scary. It's because we know it ain't real.
Yeah.
Like Freddy Krueger, for example, we know he ain't real, but it's interesting to think of how what if something like that could happen? A guy jump back to back from people's dreams and just basically kill you that way. So that was really cool how Wes Craven created something like that. Or even what's another good example? It Follows. Who would ever thought that something like that could be a horror film? Basically a sexual transmitted disease coming after you.
Yeah.
I showed you that one, right?
I don't think so.
Yep, we're watching it. Okay.
She has so much on her list to show me. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like college, it was It, The Shining, The Exorcist. She showed me that
Oh,
one.
that's right, I did. That's now that one, I kinda it depends on the person because that one is quite scary. Same thing with The Evil Dead.
But what was the one with Kathy Bates?
Misery.
Misery. Yeah, she showed me Misery too. I'm not sure if it's counted in horror because it wasn't that scary. She was just very psychotic, but it wasn't that scary. But
Yeah. It's like thriller. I mean, it's horror, but I think it's mostly thriller
yeah.
because you were just, like, really finding the anticipation of that guy getting out of the house because he was trapped there, you know? But that right there is kinda realistic because
Oh
that could happen.
yeah. Oh, and then so I didn't mention this, but
Mhm.
other ones they okay, so when it comes to movies, I know I said like I don't much like of horror movies, but I have one person, he doesn't do quite horror movies, but he does thrillers.
Mhm.
And for some reason I love his work, so I can tolerate it.
Sure.
It's Alfred Hitchcock. I
Yes.
now I've seen so many of his movies. I've seen the first one of him that I've seen was Psycho.
Oh, yeah.
I seen
Instant
the first,
classic.
right. I've seen the first. I've seen the second Psycho. The second one wasn't all that, but the first
Oh,
one,
yeah. There was, like, so many other sequels, and then they did a remake with Vince Vaughn. It wasn't all that good.
yeah. So it was that one. So yeah, it was the first Psycho, and I've seen the second Psycho. So I've seen Psycho 2. I've seen Birds. I've seen
Yes, that one's my favorite.
that one. That one's really good. I've seen Vertigo. I've seen he made another one, and I cannot remember.
Mhm.
Lord, I'm blanking out. But trust me, I've seen quite a few Alfred Hitchcock movies. I think Rear Window was another one of his.
That's a good one.
Love Rear Window. And then they did Disturbia, which kind of is like Rear
I
Window.
haven't seen that. Oh, Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf.
Which
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was a good one. I'm not sure it's like I don't think it's included in the genres honestly because again, that's not even scary. That's more thriller than anything.
Mhm.
So I've seen those. And then, like I said, I've seen some of the old time movies that with Sam, of course.
Yeah. What else is it? Like, I also did like showing you the classic black and white horror films, as I do enjoy those. The
Yes, me too.
Dracula and, Frankenstein, the Boogeyman not the Boogeyman, the Invisible Man,
Yeah,
the Wolf Man,
but
and those are, like, good old corny black and white beef
right.
movie films, but I still enjoy them, and I'm glad you did too.
Of the Black Lagoon you showed me,
Yeah,
that was a good one. Yeah, no, no, like, we've seen so many, and they're all great, honestly,
they are instant classics.
exactly. You just gotta pick your poison with it, and honestly, at this point, Scream is my poison. Um, oh, the movie that, we was talking about
Mhm.
that I seen when I was young, Dead Silence is the name of it.
Dead Silence, yeah, it's that one with the puppet in the picture with his finger across his mouth and looking all creepy and stuff?
Right.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know that one. I haven't seen it, I doubt I ever will, honestly, but I heard it's a cult classic. But, oh, that article I was reading, another one is the excitation transfer theory.
Mhm,
Basically, this theory proposes that horror media simulates elevated levels of psychological arousal because of the fear they induce. I guess I can get that. It's like a euphoric high, pretty much.
mhm,
I get that. And another one is exploring the dark side of humanity. In this one, it says, another study found that our enjoyment of horror films can be explained by the fact that they satisfy our curiosity about the dark side of humanity. Society ensures that most of us rarely encounter humanity's most derived or scary monsters, and we repress our darker side in order to fit in. That
okay,
explains something. Yeah, I like that.
yeah,
Yeah, because like, you know what? That's a good example. Psycho. Because we obviously didn't know how Norman Bates was. Well, I mean, until we figured it out, or we had an idea of how he was because he didn't seem right. And he tried to calm his other selves down so that he can like fit in because Mother was like basically towering over him. But in the end, it just completely took over.
yeah, I think, like, when I first saw it, it was in high school,
Yeah.
and it was for my history of film class.
Mhm.
I I got half of it,
Mhm.
it's like I understood half of it. It was up until the psychiatrist when he came in and he was speaking about it, and when I heard him, wait. I think I get what he's saying, but,
Yeah.
like, I have to read things for me to really understand it.
I
So
get that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so, like, just listening to him and how he explained it, I'm like, "Okay, I hear him."
Mhm.
My brain's not clicking with the information. So when I went back and read the synopsis and I read what he was saying, I was like, "Oh, okay." Because I think I was just thinking too deep into it. I'm just like, no, it's pretty simple, basically. Mom controlling all his life,
Mhm.
so trying to please her and all that stuff. He got tired of it. He snapped, killed her,
Pretty
right?
much, and
And then
then her side took over him even after she was dead because
yeah,
it was yeah.
because it was mostly I think he said it was just like, well, since he killed her, and it was a crime, he had to keep her alive. So
Mhm.
therefore he honed her in, took every aspect of her, to the outfit, to the thinking outfit, all that stuff,
Right.
like mannerisms, all that. So basically for him, um so he adapted her into
Mhm.
his life, into his mind. So when he so basically, while you do that, like, like psychologically, she's gonna like speak louder and more. So
Mm.
you're trying to be yourself and you're trying to, like, pursue women and have like sexual attractions to them.
Mhm.
That mom side's gonna be like, no, we gotta get rid of her. So the mom,
Exactly.
the one that was committing all the murders, so it was like two of him. So of course he got locked up in, like, in a psychiatric hospital,
Mhm.
trying to help with that split personality disorder that he kind of like, developed basically.
Yeah, it just basically took over in the end. It's interesting too because in the book, he has 3 sides. Because it was, Little Norman, which him as a kid was like a safety net in a way. There was the mom, and then there was normal Norman, which is basically what he tried to hang on to, but the mother was was the dominant one. And like I said, in the end, she just completely took over. So it wasn't him per se doing it; it was mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that scene in the end when when mother was speaking in his head, now that scene was creepy.
But it was good.
But it was good. Why, she wouldn't even hurt a fly, and how he looked at the camera. Classic. But, another one is people who seek out sensation. I can see that. It's like being on a roller coaster. It's thrilling, you know? And numerous studies have demonstrated that those in the trait of sensation seeking tend to enjoy horror films. Sensation seeking is a tendency to look for novel, risky, or intense experiences, which explains why for some who also like horror houses.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can jive with them, like, during Carowinds, and we'll be like, not Carowinds, but Scarowinds. Now that
There
was a lot of fun. We just go to the, horror houses. Some
yeah.
weren't even that scary, it was just, enjoyable, but there's only that one time that someone gets you like, "Ah," but it's also laughable.
Oh my gosh, girl, I remember one of the haunted houses I went to.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. It was it was something. I was young, and we went to, like, with my cousin and someone from the church.
Yeah.
And what happened was is that, I think, like, as the guy's speaking,
Mhm.
so I'm looking around, and I see one of, like, the actors in the costume peeking around the corner, right? And
Okay.
he makes direct eye contact with me, and I'm like, "Girl," when the actor, said his cue for the rest of them to come out, girl, he
Mhm.
came straight at me, and I was just like, "Oh, no." Like,
Y'all made eye contact, you like, "Yeah, Imma get this one." You're like, "No, no!"
I heard it was so funny because, like, he just made, like, direct eye contact at me, and I was, like, the first one he went to, and I was just I darted out of that room. I was like, "Where's the door? Where's the door?" And I'm
Right.
scared and terrified. You're feeling on the wall trying to find that door and trying to, like, make sure something opens up so you can get out of there. It
That
was
that
utterly
was that is hilarious. I would have laughed when seeing that, I'm sorry, but yes, I would
so,
have.
as a kid, it's not funny, but when you get older and you think back on it, you're like, "That is hilarious that like, that even happened to me in life."
Right? I d I love it. But, the last 2, reasons is people with lower empathy levels.
Mhm.
Oh, dang. Basically, people lower in the trait of empathy also tend to enjoy horror films more because they are less impacted by the suffering that is depicted on screen. Oof. And the last one is people belonging to the male sex. More than any other individual differences, sex is most predictive of enjoyment of horror films, with males tending to enjoy scary and violent movies far more than females. This difference may be least partially explained by the fact that females tend to experience greater fear and anxiety than males. Hmm. In addition, females tend to be higher than males in the trait of disgust sensitivity, which can lead them to dislike horror movies that depict blood and gore. Interesting. Well, see,
I
yeah,
see that though, because like, okay, so I think like sometimes guys would be like, "Oh, we're gonna take her to a scary movie," so that way she can be like all scared and like need us for comfort. Which
yeah, they can like leap onto the arm and like shove their face in the shoulder when things get scary.
right? No,
Yeah,
I don't do that. I have a cover and I'm hiding
I'll just use that or the popcorn bucket.
the popcorn, but or like if I'm wearing a hoodie, I'll just pull it over my eyes, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
I'm not watching. I'm not watching. Or like I was like during Scream 6 when I knew that a killing was about to pop open, basically, and you feel it. I'm holding onto my friend's hand and I'm shaking at the same time, and I'm closing my eyes. I'm like, am I looking? I'm not looking. I can't look. I can't. I'm like, okay, no, and she'll lie to me. She was like, she was like, "N- n- no, nothing's gonna happen. There's no killing. I was like in the sand. I was like, okay, okay. Opening my eyes, someone just got killed in front of me. I was like, girl, you told me no one was getting killed. What are you talking about?
You're like, "God dang it, you lied to me." He's like, "Yeah, yeah." You can look.
No,
Y
but she'll whisper to me, and she'll be like, "Girl, you got this. You got this, girly." I'm like, "No, I don't. I'm a punk. I can't handle stuff like this."
Oh, g but yeah, I get that though, 'cause you ever notice and I'm sure we all have, but, ever notice that when it comes to people getting attacked, it tends to be the ladies first, if not the black people, it's the ladies.
You gotta make it about race now.
You know it's true though, in almost every horror film, you see a black person getting killed. There's only, like, a few I've seen where they actually survive the whole entire deal.
Oh my gosh, feel like what was it in Scream? It was definitely a girl first,
Mhm.
and the
Halloween, it was a girl first, his sister.
yeah, it was a sister. Um,
Jaws as well.
yeah, the second Scream, it was a girl and a guy.
Mm.
It was both of them. And then a girl came out second.
Same thing with Friday the 13th, the girl well, technically the boy got killed first, but then it was the girl.
There was a girl, yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
But yeah, I
Psycho,
don't
Psycho, it was the girl first.
see yep, it was the girl, yep. Same
Psycho,
thing with, what's another one? Up in, Nightmare on Elm Street, it was a girl. Not
yeah,
exactly the first scene, but eventually she was the first to go.
right. Then it was in Shining. It was, but wasn't it a guy? Because he wasn't really killing people. He was just scaring his wife and going crazy. He killed one person, didn't he?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, one person, but he in the end all, he was trying to
To kill
kill
her,
his wife and son because they were gonna try and tear the hotel down
right?
because they knew what was happening, but the black man was coming back to save him. See, spoilers, y'all, in the book, he survived, but in the movie, he got killed, which I
Yeah.
did not like. That I hated that change.
Um, Exorcist, it was more of like a suicide, but well, it was a okay. So it wasn't like a suicide, but it was a suicide to
They
understand.
and trying to destroy the creature
Just for the creature, like so he's like possess me,
and
and then
say and leave the
a window to
exactly.
basically, yeah, yeah, um, yeah, no, you're right. It's been mostly females.
See what I mean? Yeah. So I get it from that side that the killers usually see women as the weakest link, so they tend to go for us first when we're at our least vulnerable. But
Yeah,
I yeah.
yeah, but then like Sydney Camp, yeah, Sydney, she Campbell. Gosh, I keep mixing Scary Movie and Scream in my head.
Oh,
Uh,
not Sydney Campbell, no.
no, but Sydney Prescott,
Yeah.
our leading lady for
Yeah.
all of these installments, survived out of everybody.
I was about to say that too, like, at least in horror films, we do have a lot of good female heroines. At
Exactly.
least we have those.
Jamie Lee Curtis and all of
Mm,
Halloween.
there you go.
They did well in the end.
Mhm, 'cause in I mean, what was it? At first, she was scared, of course, but she found her wits and decided to fight back, you
Right.
know? So, at least there's that when it comes to horror films, like, ladies who are the heroines, they're scared out of their minds, but at least they know in the end, "Okay, I gotta fight. I either fight or flight. Imma fight to survive this night."
Yep. The
Exactly.
wife in Shining, she was just like, "Oh heck no, man! Like you want to kill me? All right, let's go, husband, toe to
E
toe."
exactly, like, she did everything in her power to protect her son and for them to get out. I still hate that they killed the black man, but, here we are.
I love that famous line. Here's Johnny.
Johnny. That wasn't in the book either. That was just
That was
ad-libbing.
script writing right there. Whoever came.
Yeah. But same thing in, Friday 13th with, Nancy. She was our female heroine.
Mhm.
Scared because all her friends were killed, but in the end, she knew what to do to
Right.
fight back. And, what's her name again in Scream?
Sydney Prescott,
Cindy, and, who's the news reporter lady?
Gail Weathers.
Gail, her too. They were heroines.
Girl, Gail got they got her good in the sixth one, right? They got her so good.
Mhm.
You were sitting here thinking that she was done. Nah, she pulled through that one. I'm just like, you know what? That's what you do.
As you should, yeah. Oh, another good example is an Alien franchise with Ripley. Oh yeah, she's one of my favorite badass heroines. Why are you
Yeah,
smiling at me like that?
just the way you talk about it.
I'm sorry, I just love that movie. It's just so good because I mean, again, you find her in a situation where she doesn't know what this creature is. She did learn how it works, and again, her whole crew literally were wiped out within hours by just one creature, and she had to gather her wits and her strength just to fight back to get out of the ship alive. So the Alien franchise, that's she's a great character. I love Ripley, and she's a no nonsense kind of chick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
But at least there's that when it comes to horror films that we
But
have heroes, whether male or female.
right now, I one thing I want to say is that for Scream, I was really hoping that Randy would survive throughout
Mm-hmm.
because he was like the knowledge person. He's
Yeah.
he's like, I'm a fan of all scary movies, and I know the rules. You know,
Mm.
so even though I haven't seen the third one, I know that they bring him back a little bit, like in video wise.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, so he can like, of course, you know, give them the rules of the movies, of like how a horror film will go on.
Right.
And yeah, no, I was really mad about that because I'm like, we just killed our knowledge, like,
Mm-hmm.
our brain person, or like our like we just we killed that off, but it's fine,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. I can't even explain it.
No, I don't know. I just feel like some people are like just really like vital people that you need, and like we just kill them off, and I'm just like,
I
okay,
agree. Like the most honestly, it's the most reliable person, but they're
yeah,
always the first to
like
go. Or
yeah,
like little ways good to go.
right.
Mm. But
But
anyway, but when it comes to this beautiful month, horror is definitely have become one of my favorite genres, and I have plenty of others to show you, Nene. Whether they're bad or good, I just hope you're gonna enjoy them when I show you.
I'm not. But it is what it is. It's
Have
her.
hope, child. Have hope.
No, ma'am. But it is her month, so I sit there and I just suck it up and stick with it. Honestly, at the end of the day, since it's her month, because this was per our agreement in college that she
Mhm.
has October, I have December because. Ooh, girl, I am like, they be sitting there dropping a lot of Christmas movies, and I'd be like, we're watching it, let's go.
Exactly. 'Cause I mean, honestly, the month literally the begin the beginning of not even the beginning of, like, literally right after Thanksgiving, you're just like, "Alright, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get this shit shaking." Well,
Right.
same thing with me, like, the moment, September even when September rolls around, I'm like I just lean into the corner like, "You ready?"
And I'd be like, "It's not October yet, Timmy."
Like, "You be alright."
But no, which is really crazy because like for Christmas, I don't decorate until December 1st. But yet when it comes to movies, I'm already on it. I'm like, what's new?
I
Like,
feel that, yeah.
because the trailers be coming out in November.
Man, let me tell you, we already have Christmas stuff at the store. I'm like, "Can we please stop rushing the seasons?"
Guy, it was Walmart. I was in Walmart the other day and I saw nothing about ornaments, and I'm just like, dude,
Right, I'm like, "Can we wait?
Halloween.
Can we pause?"
Girl, they always do that. Like these corporate companies are always pushing up the next holiday, and I'm just like, can you not do that? Give me some
Right. But, I also understand a lot of people like to shop early for this stuff, so you can't exactly blame them for that.
facts.
Yeah. But let us know what y'all favorite Halloween films are. We were both curious to see, but do you enjoy horror films? Do you not? And tell us why. Because I get it, it's not for everybody. And also, I understand when people want to steer clear of stuff like that. We get it. Overall, tell us your thoughts on it. We are curious to know what you think.
All right, you guys. So now we're at the end of the podcast, and if you know what that means, you're a real one. But if you don't know and you're new, hello.
Mhm.
welcome. Well, do at the end of every episode is we have a little segment that we call the real review, and that's where we take a movie that we both have seen and we rate it from 1 to 5 stars. We do it on plot, dialogue, and theme, and we'll always ask ourselves,
We watch it again.
Mhm. And I know it's kinda weird that we're doing a real review on top of a movie review of horror films, but there's a movie in particular that Sammy is so excited to talk about that she had me watching the other day, and
Mhm.
it's called Dog Soldier. Um, if you don't know about this movie, don't worry about it 'cause I didn't know nothing about it. The title sounded a little weird to me, but I mean, it is what it is. I thought it was really, really good though. I thought it was a really
Yes.
good film.
Good, good.
It was mostly hilarious.
It was
Um,
it was like a good dark comedy.
right, dark comedy. It was hilarious. Like I never laugh at something that should be so serious because it's about where I mean, like they're fight. It's about soldiers fighting off werewolves. Like,
Mhm.
and you know, of course, they're losing their men, and it's really sad. But it was funny because of the puns. Like, oh my god, like no, like the Sarge, hilarious. He
I
was like,
adore him.
he was like, y'all ain't killing me today, and just start shooting up like the werewolves. Hilarious. I no, I think like so it was like a British film, of course,
Yeah.
but I think like in terms of dialogue, I just found it to be very funny and very witty
Mm.
because in something like this, you think that they would be serious, but you know they always knew how to turn it around.
I
And
agree.
I think that the director and the writer did amazing with that, with just not trying to be so serious, but there's like let's put some comedy into it. Let's make it a little like
It's
little
kinda like sounded almost realistic. Like, yeah, it had to be serious because they were trying to fight for their lives, but
right,
through it all, also, they just had to crack some kinda joke or
right,
talk to each other in a certain way.
right, because like the tension is in the air, so we just got to do that, and I just
Right.
thought it was very good and funny. And I like the idea, you know, because like sometimes like you have to not always follow the rules. You know,
Mm.
you got to step out. And our main character definitely did that. You know, at first he disobeyed orders for
Mhm.
something so simple. He's like, I'm not gonna do this, and it doesn't pertain to nothing that you need to be teaching me.
Yeah.
So then he got put in a whole different platoon because he, you know, did not follow orders. Because I think it was like for a special like a special unit. So
Right.
so basically, he just went to yeah to like just a regular
So,
platoon. Who he was able to
pretty much the underdogs.
very well. And you know, and again, he tried in the end when it really caught, you know, calls for it. He defined orders. His sarge was just like, "You're not defining my orders. You're gonna do what I say." End of story. Get out. Like, let's go. You know, which I just find like really good because I'm just like, you know, he was so bold enough to like define orders when it really counted.
Mhm.
That just says a lot for, you know, the personality of the character.
I
And
agree. He was a good leader. He had
right,
compassion for one thing. Because he cared about his men. They're like a band of brothers, you know?
exactly. So when each died, it was just like it's so much. It's too much.
Mhm.
I like I don't know. I like werewolves. So you know, I felt like that was like an extra bonus right there. You know, like we get to do some werewolves, and then I'm sitting there just saying like, just get some silver bullets and shoot them up. But that didn't even work in the movie.
Right, but you saw all that coming to fruition that why there was no silver in the house, huh?
Right. Exactly, because I'm like, okay, all right. So we're chicken each other up in this movie, and that's fine. That's fine. I ain't gonna spoil it, but she got him good. She really did. She got him good.
She did, yeah.
And
But I really have no say anything about it.
that
Huh?
story she gave, talk about, like, I got you guys for a reason, because I am a real one." And I'm like, "Girl, bye. Somebody please shoot her." And the
Someone did.
Sarge got her, and he was just like, "You know what? I'm gonna put her out of her misery. Let's go."
Mhm. But
Um, yeah, I thought it was really good. Good film. It was very funny. I thought it was very
I'm
good.
glad to hear that. I mean, I have no say about it because I'm pretty sure y'all already know how I feel about it. It's definitely another one of my favorites, something I could watch again and again. I mostly wanted Nene to see it because this is like a whole new different story when it comes to werewolves. Because again, who would have ever thought you would find a story with army dudes fighting off werewolves? And it was different and it was funny, very serious, and again, the special effects were just phenomenal. And they're in this one secluded place, and it makes you wonder or not whether or not they're gonna get out alive. But watch it. I recommend it. 5 out
Right.
of 5.
5 out of 5 here too. I especially loved all like the crap talking that the soldiers did with the werewolves, because one of them was just like, "Oh, so you're behind me, huh? All right, let's do this."
Let me
And,
go have at you.
and oh my gosh, it was hilarious. Um, but yeah, no, I definitely give this a 5 out of 5 as well. I think this is a really good movie that Sammy has brought to my attention. I tend to get Shane to watch it, and then I think it will be golden.
I think you'll like it. It seems like something right up his alley.
But it definitely is. Shane will definitely love this. So
I agree. Even if it's not like for horror fan, for thriller fans, I think they can drive with this one too.
right.
Mhm.
So yeah. But yes, you guys, that was our real review, and we thank you guys so much for tuning in, listening to us talk about our favorite horror films or Halloween films, whether it's dark, light, in between, one of the above. But
Mhm.
guys for tuning in with us and hearing us over that one and listening to our re-review. You guys are the real ones if you're here to the end. So we thank you so much for listening to us. We hope you guys have a really good holidays, a really good Friday the 13th, a really good, you know, October,
Yeah, we got like what 3 more weeks left of this month. Make it a good 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Go out. Go out there. Do your couple's costume or your single person costume. It does not matter if whether you're a couple or single. Wear your costume with grace. Go out
Exactly.
there. If you're a girl, go out there. Throw on some of your sexy costumes that you got up in the closet. Go out. Trick or treating. Hit the town. Whatever you
Have
got to do,
fun.
have fun. If you're a guy and you're single, do the same thing. Throw on your costume, hit the town. See what your community is doing as well, because your
Mhm.
community do something very fun for Halloween. Whether it's a festival or not.
Oh yeah.
Go to a pumpkin patch or something, or an apple orchard. Anything like that. Go do that.
Those are always fun.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Go have some fun. Um,
Feel all the good vibes of this beautiful month.
Exactly. You guys are young. Live it up. If you're not young and you're single, still go live it up. Go. Go
Exactly.
to a point. But we thank you guys for tuning in with us. We really love you guys being here. We love being here with you guys and just
Mhm.
talking a whole lot of shenanigans. We love it. Sam, what do you have to say to our lovely people out there in the audience?
When it comes to Friday the 13th, y'all, stay safe and stay nerdy and have fun. Good
Have
night,
fun.
everybody.